Batman, Iron Man and Spider-Man, they're all right, aren't they, Soph? But they're nowhere near as cool, as tough or as brave as our very own local crime fighter, Captain Australia.
Yeah, clad in green and gold, our homegrown hero is this morning setting out on his biggest mission ever, walking from Brisbane to Melbourne to raise money for kids battling cancer. And Captain Australia joins us live now from Brisbane. Welcome to Weekend Today. Now, before we get to today's mission, how did you become... Oh, gee whiz, look at you. How did you become Captain Australia?
G'day, Clint. G'day, Sophie. Thanks for having me on the show. Look, Captain Australia started, to be honest, as a shits and giggles thing. This was 10 years ago. I didn't know what he was for, but I brought him back to life after my own fight with stage 4 cancer. He's come back to save my life, to bring hope back into my life, and that's what my big walk is about. It's about personal healing, yeah? But I realised pretty soon, I wouldn't have done the superhero stuff, I would have just walked. Yeah. But I realised pretty soon that I could superhero up for science and raise some money for kids' cancer. So that's why I brought Captain Australia back, and I'm walking from Brisbane to Melbourne. I start today, that's King George Square behind me, and in about 2 months or so I should wind up in Federation Square in Melbourne, and I'm going to walk, no help, sleeping rough, and anyone who wants to follow me can watch on Facebook/CapsBigWalk. I keep a daily log.
So,
what I'm doing.
Captain Australia, Brisbane to Melbourne, it's a long way when you're flying, let alone walking. Yeah. What route do you take? Do you go down the coast?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to the coastline as much as possible. You know, there's a couple of bays and inlets and whatnot where I'm allowed to kind of break the no vehicle rule, so I can see if I can wave down some local fishermen and beg for a boat ride across. Otherwise, I'll have to go inland for, you know, divert for 30 kilometres and find myself a bridge.
What are your walking shoes like? Or have you
I've got these boots. I've just got these boots and they are crackerjack. They are really great. By the way, sorry, I do not normally wear my underpants on the outside. So I do this thing, it's called Daily Donor Dares of Doom. So anybody who donates can make a dare. They can supervillain up for science, yeah? So then I'm on the hook to do the dare. And this kid, Aiden, dared me to wear my underpants on the outside. That's why I'm doing that. I am normally too cool for school, and I get it, the underpants on the outside is not a good look. But yes, sorry, your question...
How much money are you hoping to raise?
What did you ask me?
How much money are you hoping to raise?
I'd love to raise $1 million.
Yeah.
I would love to raise $1 million for the charity. That for me is the fantasy of the dream. I could go into the rest of my life happy. I'd always have a smile within reach if I raised $1 million for the charity. Even if cancer came back for me, I'd know my life was worthwhile. But at the end of the day, it's just about awareness for an important cause. There's 950 Aussie kids affected every year. Okay, so between now and Boxing Day, between now and New Year's, 3 children will die from paediatric cancer on average. So that's like 3 a week. Yep. So it's an incredibly worthy cause. Every donation goes straight into the research, into softening treatment, and helping sick kids not get sick.
You were such a beautiful soul for doing this. Where will you be stopping along the way?
Yeah, I have this thing where I'll be sleeping rough. So I'm by myself, there's no help, and I'm going to look for little, just discreet bits of bush. I have a hammock in my gear there, this massive pack, weighs about 20 kilos, so, you know, it's a little bit of a struggle. But part of that is, I'm trying to take a pilgrimage. It is for me as well as for the Kids Cancer Project. It's about rediscovering that basic of just walking the ocean, the sky, finding a place to sleep. Every day is an adventure, and it's rediscovering that sense of hope. So I just want to make sure that the best of my days might still be tucked away somewhere in the rest of my days. Yeah. I'm an older guy, but we should all have that hope in our lives, that our lives can get better. And that's part of it too, I want to show people that concretely that a broken life can be fixed. No matter how dark it gets, no matter what the problem is in your life, you can find, even if it's unconventional like mine, you can find ways to stand up and walk forward.
Hey, Captain, how can people get involved? How can we support this great walk of yours?
So there's a charity page set up by the Kids Cancer Project. If you hit Caps Big Walk on Facebook, there's links to everything. There's a charity page, you can donate. But at the end of the day, part of it is just about helping us all see hope. So if you just want to watch, if I get bit by a dingo, if we have some fun together, that's great. I'll be doing these Facebook live streams. You can jump on board, get involved, tell your aunt about it, tell your cashed up uncle about it. And then, yeah, they can donate. There'll be links to donate to the charity page on that Facebook page.
You were such an inspiration. We wish you so much luck in your travels. And your big walk, begins now, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going to leave at 10:30. So, yeah, there's
Time
a
for a
couple
coffee,
of people
brother.
here to wave me off. So I'm going to... yeah, I think I could really use one, actually. But, yeah, I've got to get into that cycle of things, find my stride too. So right now I'm coming out of the Christmas gorge, you know, too much ham, too much beer, and now I just need to get into that Spartan daily walk thing. So the coffee will help, I think, me find my stride, yeah. Hey, you're not wrong, mate.
Captain, go well.
Yes.
We're all here for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Clint. Sophie, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me be on the show today. Cheers.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful man. How
Yeah, it's
special.
amazing. So if you want to, at home, show your support, just search Captain Australia's Big Walk online. The website, you can see it on your screen there right now.
G'day, this is Captain Australia. I've just done a report with the Today Show, which if you're in Queensland, you'll see at 9:30. So I'm here chatting to my new mate Jamie from Chatty Chairs. So that's a charity he's set up to talk to people and teach us all to be human again. A random thing. He's a lovely guy, so we're having a chat. But I promised to come online and do a stream. Not of my departure on the big walk. That's not happening for a couple of hours yet. I'm going to leave here at 10:30. But I did a daily Don't a Dare of Doom. So Aiden's crew dared me to wear my underpants on the outside, and I promised to come on and document that. So all day today, as I go walking down towards the Gold Coast, I will be wearing my undies on the outside like a real rockin' superhero. So that's what I'm doing now. Later on at 10:30, when it's time for me to go on the big walk, I will come on. I will stream it. But for now, I'm just having a chat with Jamie. I suppose you could join us if you want.
Yeah, sure, man.
Actually, there's no reason not to keep streaming. So here we are at King George Square. I don't know if you can hear us okay. I've got these, let's make sure it's on ambient mode so we can hear you as well.
Oh, yeah?
You should be able to hear me and what's going on around me. And if not, I'm sorry.
Well, hi, everybody.
So we're just having a chat.
Yeah.
Why don't you voyeuristically watch us have a chat? Yeah. So sorry, where were we?
Well, we were talking about how humans were meant to live when it came to old people teaching young people. The other thing was personalities and how you view the world. So, like, the main reason I started this was because I wanted to make sure my worldview was as accurate as humanly possible. And the only way to do that is to talk to as many people as humanly possible and figure out, and you get to see trends after a while. So, like, a lot of the street community know me now. I've had doctors, I've had counsellors, I've had like people from the council actually sit down. I've had so many different people, and everybody has a story, and it's always an impressive story. Like, one of the guys sat down, and he was 145 kilos. I only had an hour.
I was there in December.
Yeah.
Thyroid damage from my cancer, yeah.
Totally reminded me of this
140
story.
kilos, yeah.
140 kilos. So anyway, he had a massive heart attack, right? And he died apparently within 18 minutes. He came back and he had the equivalent of a frontal lobotomy, right? And it turned out, the first thing he did was he wanted a pepperoni pizza. He went and had a pepperoni pizza, and the wife started crying. She was like, oh, I can't get through this again. And then he was like, oh, okay, I'll just quit it. And he instantly quit. He set up a business where he became a vegan. He's now 75 kilos, and he set up a business where he actually helps people lose weight and things. Turns out the bit that was addicted to food died. That part of his brain died with him. So the heart attack saved his life. And I had an hour to sit and talk to that guy, and like, there's so many of these stories just wandering around. And your story's super interesting.
It's funny, we're very similar and yet profoundly different too. So you have this scientific approach, so do I in a way, but where you want to find and accurately kind of calibrate yourself to the people that you meet, understand them. I want to see the absolute best in the people that I meet. So I'm not interested in having a real world. I'm interested in preserving the idea that we are all
higher spiritual creatures, that we're all capable of acts of profound beauty, whether or not that is true.
Yeah.
Whether or not that is true. Because if it is true, having that approach to life sort of unconsciously unlocks it in myself and others.
A self-fulfilling
know what I
prophecy.
mean?
Yeah.
So so it's like kindness breeds more kindness.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the antidote to suffering as well. So kindness, like, if I weren't doing this thing for charity that I'm doing, what I'm able to achieve for my own healing would be much more limited than what I have achieved. So I in December had no hope in my life. I was just waiting to die. I had nothing left. And when I walked, the first time I walked 3 kilometers and I was collapsing. It was horrible pain in my knees and legs and all the rest. I've walked 100 continuously, like 20 hours of straight walking, no worries. So the contrast between where I was and where I am is profound. And it's hope that's unlocked me.
Yeah.
So it's not personal strength. It's not any quality that I have that is in any way special. It's hope, and it's fostering that hope. And hope is a circle that we create together.
Yeah.
So it's something that when I share it with you, it grows and then circles back to me. And if not directly to me, it goes to him.
Yeah.
And he feeds it to her. And then it circles back to me. So kindness and hope tend to, I believe, improve the world. In the same way that hate and paranoia, they propagate and spread too. And they darken the outlook of the world.
Yeah.
So when you want to meet people in order to learn and understand and calibrate, because you are a scientist. This guy is a Big Bang Theory, theoretical physicist, by the way, in terms of his learning. His outlook and learning is all, theoretical physics, which would just
I believe you need both. I think you need because obviously I've tried to spend most of my life understanding the cosmos and all that stuff and that, but
and you apply that to people.
Because now I'm trying to figure out people. But the thing is, you can figure out the cosmos as much as you want. But the problem is, you never figure out the question. Why am I here asking the question to start with?
Exactly.
So there's always a spiritual part and a scientific part. So
I love that, man. It's like a lot of scientists will say, look, I'm given to science, so I'm naturally atheistic and all this, whatever. And it's sort of like this, it's this stereotype as opposed to a genuine searcher.
Yeah.
So when you're looking for, you're given to science and you're looking for answers, you recognize that somewhere science intersects with philosophy, which intersects with faith. So every scientific truth could be subject to a spontaneous change. Some of the smartest people in the world have put forward, supposedly the smartest people, have put forward this idea of simulation theory.
Yeah.
Which is a way to explain religion and science and all this. But if that were true, I think it's garbage, but that's my view. But if that were true, it accepts this idea that any truth, any scientific truth that we say is this is the way the world operates, is subject to spontaneous and absolute change. So I could fly away because it's a simulation. We're living in a simulation. Those rules are constructed by God, a wizard in the sky, or an AI intelligence or whatever, but they are impermanent and they are incompletely understood. So therefore...
Well, that's the beauty of physics. The beauty of physics is knowing what we don't know. So, and
knowing what we don't know.
Yeah, so the idea is that I have a torch, but I know that I'm in a giant, huge, dark warehouse, and I know there's so much I don't know, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, I
need to figure out where to point
I studied physics, right? But me and physicists didn't go on, because physics was actually natural, and it was called natural philosophy until Isaac Newton came and invented Mathematica Principia, and then it became its own thing, and that's where, because me and physicists used to have an issue where...
So that's the apple fell on my head, right?
Yeah. So he basically... So
then there's gravity, then there's Einsteinian physics, which is like time, and then there's quantum physics, which is like...
Yeah, Schrodinger, so literally how it used to be, before, when Newton came along, we thought it was the sun and we went round in circles, right? And then Newton looked at the sky and saw that the sun went round in a figure 8. And he's like, we don't go round in circles, we go round in that's of a code, ellipses, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, prove it. So he goes away, and then he invents differential and integral calculus.
Sorry, I've got Channel 9 calling me at 10 o'clock. I realised by streaming this, I won't be able to take the call. Are there people watching
okay.
this?
Well, I'll keep recording.
Yeah, you're hello, Captain Australia. Sorry, having a chat with Jamie at Chatty Chairs. I'm just killing time here at King George Square. That's Jamie. Hey, Jamie.
How you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm going to kill the stream. I will stream again when I start my big walk at 10:30. But I need the phone now because the Channel 9 News are going to call me. And sorry, I'm about as organised as a very disorganised person. G'day, this is Captain Australia and I'm about to start my big walk. Sorry, we're running a little bit late. I said that I would be here for a live stream at 10:30 and the big clock is telling me it's 10:38. So if you've been waiting, I apologise. There's a bunch of lovely people here. I don't know if you can see them in the background there. Seeing me off, some might even come for a little bit of a walk. So yes, Captain Australia's Big Walk, it's for the Kids Cancer Project. It's also for me. It's a quest for personal healing. I had stage 4 cancer, 6 months to live. I had a 40% chance that chemoradiation would beat the disease and I had total metabolic response to treatment. So I overcame the cancer, but I couldn't overcome the side effects of the cancer, not just the treatment problems, but the relentless psychological attack of knowing that once you've had it, it's going to come back and visit someday. And the thing that really was the biggest kick in the guts was that no child should have to endure that. The children and their families affected by paediatric cancer just broke my heart. So I decided that I was going to do this big walk for my own personal healing, and then I realised I could superhero up for science and do it for a charity. So the charity is the Kids Cancer Project. Massively worthy cause, and if you check out the sticky post on the Facebook page, it'll lead you to the donation page if you can find it in your heart to support. But yeah, I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne, and part of that is just to show you that a broken life can be fixed. No matter how dark it is, no matter what's gone wrong, you can get up, you can find the right direction, and you can just start walking. So for me, that's unconventional. You might want to choose a more normal way to do it, but we're getting started. King George Square, and we're headed for Federation Square in Melbourne. When I say we, I mean me. And it's going to take me at least 8 weeks. So thank you. Why don't you walk with us for that first little bit? So you guys, yeah. Who's coming? Are you all coming? Okay, well, let's go. Okay, so we're headed, we're going to cross the bridge and go over to South Bank. And you might see some lovely people behind us. This is Captain Australia's Big Walk. Okie dokie. So, this is going to end up a bit anticlimactic, I think, because at the end of the day, it's a long walk. So it's not like we're seeing an episode of a TV show, 15 minutes, it's done. This is the beginning. And luckily it's not thunderstorming. It was meant to storm today. So far, so good. We're expecting El Nino weather patterns, which is going to be fun. So I'm going to live stream every single day of the big walk. I'll check in every couple of hours, just sharing where I'm at, what I've learned. So for me, this is in part a spiritual pilgrimage. It is about healing, self-repair. It is about just stripping everything back and throwing myself out into the natural world, being under the sky, near the ocean. And it's about that sort of rebuilding. So that's my internal journey, and the charity stuff all came after. But yeah, I'm going to be on the road for a long time, weeks and weeks. Now, I want to be careful I don't bump into anybody. And have I still got my friends with me? We're all walking. This is great. Thank you so much for coming along. I am absolutely delighted that there are some people who've come to join in for this first little bit. Now my goal is to get to Dreamworld, maybe the full-on Gold Coast, before I sleep tonight. Yeah, sure, buddy. Hey!
Fuck yeah, have a nice day, bro.
Cheers, man, thank you. So, we are off. So for me, that's actually, well, by the time I sleep, I'll hope to have covered about 70 kilometres. Now my pack weighs about 20 kilos. So 70 kilometres, we'll say 5k an hour, 14 hours, hey! So I reckon departing a bit late, probably going to be 1:30, maybe 2 a.m. before I get down to just after Dreamworld is where I'll look for a place to sleep. Or we have somebody who's said something. What have you said?
Well, I might have just missed a comment, sorry. I am awful at this social media live streaming stuff. There'll be times when I just sit down and I don't know, look at the sunrise or something, and I'll try and be more careful to, if you've got questions, if you want to know, have I got any ticks infesting me or anything, I'll be more vigilant to, I don't know, have a conversation. So for me, I was a ghost. In December, just this past December. So COVID had killed my travel insurance company. Cancer had killed my hope. And I just couldn't bounce back. And I want to show that from this absolute darkness, caged by bad experiences, it's possible to just have spontaneous, positive change. So here I am, for better or worse, and I know it's a bit crazy, right? Dressed up as a superhero, but that's just me. And that's how it looks for me. For you, it's different. But the message is that hope is available. So I am a concrete example that a life that is broken in every sense, as black as it could possibly be, that you can bounce back and you can come back from that. And for me, the mystery of it, the secret of it is hope. It's that sense that positive change is available to you in your life. And when you're broken and stuck, you don't believe that. Oh, we got comments. I'm sorry, I'm not quick enough to see the comments. That hope, once you have it, if you share it with someone else, it grows. It's a circle that we create together. We build and share it, and then it's amplified and it's healing. So it's all about that act of sharing, that kindness is the antidote to suffering, in my opinion. And that's what I'm just trying to show you. All of the charity stuff aside, all of my own healing stuff, parking that, the third dimension of what I'm doing is to just show that hope is such an important component in our daily lives. And if I can recreate it from that point of being utterly broken, if I'm able to do that, then absolutely you can. Or the person in your life who needs it, whether they've got a substance problem or depression or whatever, the person who needs to hear that can take it and hopefully apply it into their own life. So it's about just sharing an adventure at the end of the day. And look again at these lovely people who are walking with me. That's awesome. So we're now crossing the bridge over to South Bank, and that's where I'm gonna probably lose most of these people, because nobody in their sane mind is gonna walk 50k, let alone 2,400. And yeah, so I've calculated down the East Coast, if you drive a car or if you're a crow flying, it's about 1,800 kilometers. But the route I'm taking along the coastline will come in at more than 2,400. So I figure, even in the best of conditions, yeah, it's a good couple of months. So I will stream, and I will stream again later. So the first time I'm going to walk for 15k, get to a place called Garden City. I'll stop, have a drink, stretch my toes, and I'll give you a little update then. So also, just for anybody who doesn't believe that one old fool can walk to Melbourne by himself, I want to create a living diary. That's also for my kids, my beautiful, wonderful kids. I want them to see who their dad was. It started in a morbid way, like if ever the cancer came back for me, I could leave that for them. But now I want them to see, yeah, I don't know, they might be looking at this 20 years from now. Hi boys, and I want to show them who I was. But yeah, anybody who doesn't believe that some old fool can walk from Brisbane to Melbourne, I want to make sure that I share it so that you can see there's no cheating, there's no little Volvo hidden somewhere that I jump into, no little Captain Australia mobile. I did think of calling it Captain Australia's Big Uber, because I've been building up to this for a year now, really. Oh, and we've got a message. Let's see if I can catch this one. All the glare makes it hard to read. Something, something, looking something. Too slow. So sorry about that. So here we are, lovely Brisbane. These people. That's Liam and Sunny. Yeah, Sunny is the best bloody name. Yes, I've got some lovely people coming for this little walk. I'm really delighted by that. Thank you for coming along. Have we lost? Oh, we've lost a few of them. Yeah.
If I can take the advantage of having a quick photo before you
Yeah, for sure. Hey!
quickly before the lights go.
Cool.
Alright. So it begins.
Yep,
Across the river.
yeah, once we get over, I'm probably going to go hardcore. I want to, like this first bit of a walk is going to be hard, like a physical trial, because I haven't been doing any practice walks for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Of course, yeah.
And I've had all this Christmas gorging and stuff, and
Did the Channel 9 producer end up hooking you up with a pair of underwear, mate? Or?
that was so embarrassing. Yeah, so I texted the producer of the Today Show. I thought I was texting my wife. Please buy me 2 pairs of underpants. I've lost my underpants. But I texted the producer of the Today Show, and no, yeah, not cool. Just another example of the old man who, yeah, no. I've got all. Here's the thing. I think I'm a smart guy, but there's all of these little circumstances stacking up.
Yeah.
That are just, you know, if I don't survive the big walk and there's somebody who forensically reconstructs it, they're going to determine that I had some sort of, I don't know, that I was pre-Alzheimer's or...
When is it courage and when is it insanity, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's the outcome, I think, that decides. History is where we decide, you know, was he a hero or a madman? So when I get to Melbourne and it's been a phenomenal help to the charity, and maybe a few individual people have taken something from it, then that's great, you know. But if I trip up or mess it all up somewhere along the line, yeah, this is going to be used in court as evidence. Yeah, did you know, Your Honour, that on Christmas Eve he texted the Today Show producer and said, "Buy me underpants, please." It clearly shows that Mr. Simon Harvey had lost the plot. As if the superhero stuff isn't evidence enough. So, we're walking across the bridge, going to go through South Bank, and then I think I'm actually going to start walking hard. I'm going to try and get my pace to the maximum and just press for the coast. My pack's a little heavier than I'd like, but it's not too bad. So I've got the spare Captain Australia uniforms. I've got glow in the dark ones, which are high vis, they're pretty good. So yeah, I've got 4 uniforms in total, so if I get stinky I've got something to change into. And the high vis ones are pretty cool. But yeah, the extra weight is less than ideal. But it's actually good, like when you're carrying when you're fat, rucking, just walking, but with a bit of weight in a backpack is one of the healthiest things you can do to rebuild your internal health. And I've been doing that for a year now, so I'm not jumping into this out of nowhere. So I first started my big walk, well, arguably I started it when I was like 15 years old and I left home. But I first started this run back in December when I realised I was broken and I couldn't continue as I was. And that first night I started walking and I walked 3K and I thought it was a massive effort, and it wrecked me, my legs, everything. I was in horrible pain. But the second day I did 5. The third day I did 5 and then I said no. I got to the end, I needed a bath, I wanted to hug my teddy bear, but I said no, do it again. And I did, I repeated it. I did 10K that night and that became the new normal. So I have fought hard to get where I am. I know I look as though I'm extremely unfit, but well, watch this space, I came to play. Yeah, so it's about this sort of slow preparation. 10K a day in January, 15 in February, and then I did all these test walks all the way up till September when I started doing longer test walks dressed as Captain Australia. It's all culminating in today where we're getting started. So what I'm going to do, I'll get over to South Bank and I'll assume these people walking with me won't want to go much further than that, so we'll do a bit of handshaking and fare thee wells, and I'll do that for you as well. And yeah, I'll do another stream in about 2 hours time to let you know where I'm at. Now if you're waiting to see me fail, by all means, but you're going to be waiting a long time. Now if anybody thinks I can't make it, okay, when I get to Melbourne,
It'll be really stinky.
A, it'll be very stinky, but B, if you're one of these wait and watch this fella fall over, when I get to Melbourne, please I've proven you wrong. Please drop $50 on the charity or something, all right? So, oops, sign to navigate around. Low-hanging trees and awnings and stuff, I often have to limbo. So we'll pull up under here and I really have to thank some of these people who have been walking with me. Nobody wants to walk much further past South Bank, do you?
We'll see you after, mate.
Yeah, cool. So we'll say our goodbyes and end the stream, and I'll give you an update in a couple of hours. So anybody who's watching, thank you. This is Captain Australia's Big Walk. It's for a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne, and this is the first few kilometres of that. So, well, first few hundred metres. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to say thank you to these lovely individuals here, and I'll end the stream for now. So all the best. Thanks so much. Take care of yourselves. G'day, this is Simon. So I'm not Captain Australia right now. I just wanted to give a quick message to all of the people who have sent Facebook messages and made donations on the Kids Cancer Project website. Firstly, thank you. I hope good karma follows in your footsteps. If you've made a donation today, that's a wonderful thing. It all goes into research, into softening treatments for children's cancer, and improving the success of those treatments. So it's a wonderful cause, and I think that the contribution that you're making is very important, so thank you. I'm only 10k out of Brisbane, and I've just stopped briefly to see that we've had this great influx of support, and I just wanted to send a message to say thank you so much for that. I've got all these Facebook messages. When I look for a place to sleep tonight. I probably won't sleep until about 2 o'clock in the morning or so. I want to get as close to the Gold Coast as I possibly can. But when I set up for sleep, I will go through and I will do my very best to respond to every message. So if you've sent me a message or if you've made a donation, firstly, just let me say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I need to put my Captain Australia mask back on and keep on marching. I just wanted to quickly pull up and just say thanks so much for the support. All the best. Oh God, there's a lot of people jumping on. Lots of people jumping on. So this is the old man Simon, not the bullhead superhero Captain Australia. I am now, where am I exactly? I don't know, I'm sort of towards Greenslope, so I'm about 10k out of Brisbane. I'm going to suit back up again and keep walking. I'm wearing my underpants on the outside. It's weird, the things that will make you self-conscious. So I've gotten used to walking around dressed like a superhero, but the underpants on the outside are just pushing it that little bit too far. So I think I've done my best for that daily donor dare of doom. So I might quietly slip the undies off so I can look a little bit more normal. If anybody has given a daily donor dare of doom with your donation, I promise I'm going to go through them one at a time. I will spot the dares and I will do your dare. If you've super villained up for science, I promise I will do your dare, as long as it's not mean to anybody or criminal or going to get me killed. But outside of that, I will find your dare and I will do your dare. But you'll have to bear with me. This is the first day. I'm getting started. It's a bit of chaos. So allow me to find my stride, get out there on the road, and the goal for the moment is to get to that New South Wales border as quick as I can. So I'm in for some heavy walking tonight. Oh, we have a comment. Oh, I look very hot. I'm going to read that as I look hot, like, yeah, you know, like cool, like Fonzie cool, you know. I'm not going to read that like hot and bothered. I'm going to read that the way I choose to read that. But no, the weather, it's a lovely day for a walk. It's overcast, so the thunderstorms that they said we'd see all day thankfully haven't hit yet, although that will be a problem later. No, when I wear the thing, it's like an Arab sheikh, you know, it protects me from the sun. I'm used to the temperature. All the practice walks help with that, and you've got this. Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. I really, yeah, like fun. Yeah, all right. So I'm hot like Fonzie. No, I don't think Fonzie translates very well to the zeitgeist these days, does he? Back in the days, he'd snap his fingers and he'd have all these gorgeous women falling over him, and it's very probably misogynistic and objectifying of all blah 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 blah. But yeah, I do get a little bit hot and bothered in the uniform, but it protects me against sunburn really well. So I'm going to pop that back on. I'm going to keep walking, and I will check in later. I've only come about 10 kilometres. That's 10 out of 2,400-ish.
So I've got a ways to go. Look, it's going to get into a lovely daily groove when I find my stride. I'm hoping to do 40 or 50 kilometres every day. I'd like to be in Sydney in 25 days or less. So that's if I'm going really hard and doing really well, that's what I probably my best achievable. But I might find that I've overestimated myself. We're just going to have to wait and see. And so I'm not good at looking at and responding to these comments because I'm always in glare and I'm an old fool. No, okay. Hot like Fonzie, that's lovely. Yeah, thanks so much. I can't tell you how much the kindness that I've received is. I'm very grateful for it. You see, I sincerely think that kindness is the antidote to suffering. So with my cancer, I wanted to heal myself and I couldn't. And I decided to help a charity, and that act of kindness amplified my own healing. But it's given me access to these lovely comments. I've got the Proclaimers gave me permission to use that song, and I will walk 500 miles. I wrote to them and they wrote back to me and said, yes, you can use that song in connection with your charity. I'm just no good at social media and stuff and inserting songs into videos. But yeah, the kindness that I've received back is wonderful and healing and great. And I like to think that it's good for us as a society as well, you know? Anyway, thank you so much for your support. I'm really deeply grateful. I'm here sitting in a park on an oddly giant-sized bench. My feet are dangling. It's, I don't know, hard to describe. I'll just go on all day if I don't stop. So I will stop the stream there. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to check in a couple of hours, and I will tonight show you where I set up to sleep. You know, it's going to be an adventure in itself, just figuring out where to sleep every night. I might be under a bridge. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was 15, so I left home, I walked from Brisbane to Sydney, and one night I woke up under a bridge just outside Ballina it was, and there was a big carpet snake curled up in the crook of my back. I did not know snakes do that, but it's like sunning themselves on a rock apparently. They can, like a human being is a warm rock, they can curl up and cuddle you. And I just screamed and banged my head on the bridge and ran for it. It was terrifying, but yeah, that will be an adventure in itself, just figuring out where I'm going to sleep. So part of the quest is sleeping rough every night, and I'm looking for a spiritual outcome as well. Like I get up in the morning, I see the sun, I say hello to the ocean, and as I find those moments, I'll try and share them with you as well, in the hopes that they may help. Thanks for checking in. Walk safe, mate. Thank you. I will. I'll try and stay safe, and if I can't, I'll try and stay lucky. All the best, everybody. Thank you. I will check in again later. Thank you so much for the support. And if you've sent a message or if you've given a donation, I will look individually at each one. And if there's any dares in there, I promise I will do them. I'm just going to need a day or so to catch up. All the best. Take care of yourselves. Cheers. G'day, Captain Australia here. Sorry, this is going to have to be a bit of a walk and a talk because I'm behind schedule. So I'm just passing Garden City, and it's really just 15 kilometres from where I set out. And I had meant to move on from here at about 2:30. 2:30, the perfect time to see the dentist, you say? See, that's a dad joke. 2:30. Get it? Yeah. And it's 4 o'clock. So I'm about an hour and a half behind schedule. And, oh, hey mate, cheers. So what was your name, buddy?
My name's Jake.
Jake, yeah, cheers buddy. So I'm just doing a live stream, I'll have to process that. Yeah, I'm walking to Melbourne.
Peeps.
G'day everyone, this is Jake,
cause.
who's just donated $5 to the Kids Cancer Project. Good on you, Jake. It's all for pediatric cancer research. Cheers mate, all the best. So yeah, that sort of thing happens all the time. I have to, Jake $5, Jake $5. I have to process that. Okay, Jake $5. I have to say it 3 times or I'll forget. So yeah, I'm passing Garden City, and the schedule only matters in that I need to get out of Brisbane. I can't sleep under a bridge somewhere within shouting distance of my family. So I'll feel that the big walk proper has begun once I hit the New South Wales border. That's about 120k on foot from where I started, and I'm about 15k in. So I've got some ground to cover. And I had intended, I'm an hour and a half behind schedule, and sure, I stop, like Jake there, get caught talking to people, which I love, but I need to escape Brisbane, and that's the only reason for a schedule. Aside from that, I just have that broad brush plan of covering 40 or 50 kilometres every day.
my pack is probably 5 or 10 kilos heavier than I would like. So that's slowing me down a bit too, I think. I don't know, I just have to acclimate, get into my zone, you know, find my stride. But yeah, I just thought I'd send you a quick update. So I'm only 15k from my starting point. It has been, I don't know, what is it, 4 o'clock? So technically that's about 5.5 hours. And I am on my way to the Gold Coast. Tonight I'd like to sleep somewhere around Dreamworld, and someone has said, we just drove past you. G'day. Hey mate! So I randomly get yelled at, it's all good. Just drove past you, cool, g'day. Wave, beep, love it. I'm so grateful for the words of support from everybody, thank you so much. The people who've donated, there's been a flood of donations to the Kids Cancer Project, and that's wonderful. I don't work for the charity, you see. The beauty of what I'm doing is it bypasses all of that normal charity stuff. So, you know, when you have charity collectors on the street, they have to be paid. The charity has to cover its operational costs. It's just a fact of life. But me, I'm just doing this because I'm a weird buffhead, you know what I mean? So every dollar that we raise goes straight into the research. And that's the beauty of it. So, you know, my goal, I'd love to raise $250,000 minimum for the charity, because that, I don't know, maybe it's my way of punching back at cancer, you know? So cancer, it doesn't just try and kill you, it tries to suck away your life, your hope, your sense of place in the world. And I'm just an old fool, like, but I'm a grown man and I couldn't come back from that. So the idea that a child has to endure that is just, it's a mess, it's a heartbreak. So, you know, the people who've donated, good on you, you know? It's wonderful. I hope good karma follows you for days to come. It's a good thing, I promise you it's a worthwhile cause. But that's for you to decide. I'm also doing this, like, that's the altruistic reason. Selfish reason is my own healing. So I was broken by cancer, and this is my way of bouncing back. This is my way of just reducing life down to the basics, like a pilgrimage, and just walking. You've got the ocean and the sky, and just getting back in touch with the natural world and fixing myself and coming out the other side a better person. Because the thing that was the biggest kick in the guts for me, well, first, my youngest son was 3 when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, 6 months to live. 3 years old. And that was a kick in the guts. But that was the first of many. Like, when I realized I was underperforming as a parent, existential crisis, trying to get past the cancer, and I couldn't. That was just another kick in the guts, because there's nothing more important to me than being a good dad, you know? Doing right by my children. And this, I'm trying to do that. So this walk, heavier pack, so I'm going slower than I'd like, and it feels hard. And I haven't yet found my pace, so I'm digging deep to keep going, let's go. And that's for them. It's to make me better. And that's a selfish thing, it's a self-repair thing. Then there's the charity, but there's this other part of it too. So I was so broken, I was like a ghost. I weighed 140 kilos, my thyroid was wrecked by the radiation, and I couldn't bounce back. I couldn't fix myself. I was gaining weight every day. I was like the Walking Dead, but not the zombie TV show, you know? And I reached back for hope. Like, when I walked as a child, I walked when I was 15 from Brisbane to Sydney to live with my grandma, who I loved. It was just to escape a bad domestic situation, yeah? And that was a time of hope, escaping from a dark cage, healing. So I needed to grab back for that. And that's where the idea of the big walk came from. It was rediscovering that sense of hope and healing. And for me, finding just this tiny piece of hope and breathing life into it, and then sharing it with a charity, and now sharing it with you, it amplifies it. Hope is like this circle we create together that grows in the sharing. And that's the third part of my big walk, what it's all about. It's about sharing hope. It's about saying, you know, all of this COVID garbage, all of this, you know, weird, horrible, combative stuff we've got going on in the world at the moment, you know, in our day-to-day lives, in our personal sphere, a little bit of hope, we can get better. But at the society level, a bit of kindness and a bit of hope, we can get better. So it's kind of sharing that, a concrete example of that. A life broken completely can be repaired, and all it takes is a little bit of hope. But yeah, I'm at Garden City and I'm way behind schedule, so I'm just powering through. I'd meant to take an hour break here and have a bit of lunch, but I just need to get to the Gold Coast as quickly as I can. So my stated goal, and let's see if I succeed or fail, by tonight, when I'm ready to sleep, I want to be somewhere around Dreamworld. That'll position me well for a push into the Gold Coast tomorrow. So if I can get to or beyond Dreamworld, I'll have achieved my goal. But that's 60k from where I am now, I think, or something like it. So at a good pace, that's 12 hours with no breaks. So we'll just have to see. Anyway, that's who I am. That's what it's about. If you want to support the charity, if you haven't yet and you'd like to, there's a sticky post. Just look at the top. There's this video that explains everything. It was an episode of the project, but there's links in there as well. And you can also find them at captainaustralia.online. That's got a bunch of links there as well. But yeah, one of the things that you can do as well, if you can find it in your heart, is just tell people about this crazy quest. This buffhead who's planning to walk to Melbourne. And maybe people want to see me fail, but I won't. You know, I came to play. I'm serious about this. And walking, like, it's not a joke endeavor. I know I look like a bit of a joke dressed up as a superhero, but you know, walking 50k every day for like, what, 60, 70, 80 days, it's a bit full on. So let's wait and see if I can do it. Let's wait and see how I perform, but I want to win your regard. I want to win the public support. Why? Don't look at me, I'm just an idiot in a mask. Look past me, look at that banner. That's all about the Kids Cancer Project. So I'd love to raise a chunk of money for that charity. Then if cancer came back for me, I could still, for the rest of my life, I'd have a smile within reach. You know, no matter what happens. Oops, I've got a message. Oh, from my son. Sorry, I got a text. My eldest son says nom nom nom. Now that's because I like to go up to him, sneak up, and I nuzzle the back of his neck and go nom nom nom, and it makes him giggle and he hates it. And then he sometimes does it to me and it makes me giggle and I love it. So that's a rando text from my boy. And that's the hardest thing by far, what I'm doing, is being away from my kids and my wife, whom I adore completely. But yeah, not much to say beside that. What I want to do is show you these beautiful places that I go, interesting encounters that I have. But for now, this next bit is about me pushing hard to get to the Gold Coast. So it's really just about where I am, how far have I come, and right now, quite behind schedule. So I'll check in a couple of hours and let you know how I'm going. I have at least one daily donor dare of doom. What is a daily donor dare of doom? A donor can just supervillain up for science, and I turn into a puppet dangling beneath your evil strings, and you just get to dare me. It's all in good fun. So I've got at least one. A guy, David, has dared me to chug a can of lager at the end of one of my walks, so it's quite a kind dare, I think. So I will definitely do that. I may not be able to get a can of lager today, but I'll certainly do it imminently. And yeah, I'll check in again in a couple of hours. And whoops, we got a remark. You got this, so proud of you. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, look, here's the thing too. There's nothing remarkable about me. I'm just this guy. This is my way of repairing myself. But this, to do something, it's in all of us. You know, there's this, unconventional it may be, but there's this spark of inspiration. But life tends to want to suppress that in us, to sort of discourage us from doing the weird and wonderful things that we might be inspired to do. And that's, I think, something that I'd like to say, that, you know, whatever it is in you, I don't care what it, you know, you might like anime, and you're going to invent the next best anime character and teach us all about some, I don't know, some sort of impending crisis environmentally, whatever it is, there's this thing in you, and I'd love to see a bunch of people do a bunch of crazy stuff like Captain Australia's Big Walk, because it's all about hope and it's in all of us, and I don't want to get run over by a car, so I'm sorry that I'm distracted. I'm really just pushing through for the Gold Coast. And yeah, thank you so much for the words of support. I'm doing my best. I will continue to do my best, and if you bear with me, in about 70 days I'm going to be in Melbourne. All the best. Take care of yourselves. Hope you're having a great Boxing Day, and if you've been shopping, I hope you didn't get trampled. Take care of yourselves. G'day, Captain Australia here, and I'm at Underwood. Way behind my planned schedule, but it is what it is. I I wish I'd filmed this because it's probably worth sharing. So I've had an incident. I was under a bridge at Logan just sort of stretching my feet, and I had these tremendous leg cramps, like really extreme. And in all my practice walks I've had nothing, but it's a problem. I had this inflammatory problem after getting my COVID jabs. You can get them from any vaccination. It's no reason not to get your jabs, but it's this inflammatory response to vaccination. So the GP, I had to get all kinds of scans, and I had a bit of a cancer scare from it. But yeah, one of the side effects that can last up to 6 weeks is these tremendous leg cramps. So I'm under a bridge at Logan, and I should have probably been filming it because it's like a downside, it's an unattractive side of what I'm doing. I was there writhing around in pain. But what happened, this lovely bloke, he's hitchhiking down the road, built like a brick outhouse and covered in tats. He jumps this fence and he runs over and he starts to like help me. Now this guy, his name was Manu, and he kept calling me Uso, which means brother in his language, and he's been in and out of prison. So he's done some stuff that he regrets. So we've got a comment. Hi from Melbourne. Yeah, g'day. Yeah, cheers. That's lovely to know that people are watching and getting something from it. I really appreciate that. So it's close to dark. The sun's going down. I just thought I'd give you an update. I'm about 15 kilometers from Beenleigh, which I think I'm probably about 25 or 30 from my starting point, which is just, I've made nowhere near the time that I wanted to. But yes, I'm powering through these leg cramps. But this dude, he jumps the fence. He's just really sweet and kind and helpful. He's rough as guts. He's been in and out of prison. We talked for a long time. But the compassion that he showed this old fella under a bridge having horrible leg cramps was just wonderful. And for me, I'm just finding all of these examples of that. People just, their compassion and their decency and kindness. And I just find that so encouraging, after living in a cave of cancer for so long. So already it's day one of my big walk, and I'm having these encounters that I've met lovely people all day, and that slowed me down as well. But it's already, I'm getting this great, I guess, this wave of kindness washing over me, it's so healing, I suppose, at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm going to push forward. I want to get as close to Dreamworld as I can before I sleep, but that might be 2 or 3 a.m. if I just walk now continuously. So we'll see how I go. The thing about cramps is walking is the antidote to them. So it actually helps sort of stretch the muscles and warm the muscles up. So I'm just going to, I'll kill the stream unless anybody has any questions, wants to know anything. Well done. Thank you. Yeah, cheers. I'm going to get better at treating this like a bit of a conversation. I really appreciate that you're watching and interested. But yeah, I'm gonna push through, and for the next few hours I'm just going to be marching pretty hard, I think, to try and make up for some lost time, and I'll update before sleep. So all the best. Where are you at now? So I'm just past Underwood, which in Brisbane, it's the home of the big everything. So there's a big cow, a big golf ball, a big, they have all of this. Yeah, where I am now, we're past it all, so I can't show it to you, regrettably. But yeah, Underwood. So I'm about to make it, I think, to the Logan Hyperdome is maybe another 10k or so in this direction. And yeah, I might stop there and grab everything's going to be shut. But if I can grab something to eat, I might do that there. But yeah, I'm going to push through. I want to get as close to Dreamworld as possible before I sleep. So thank you for your interest. It's all for the Kids Cancer Project. Well, that's not true. It's mostly for the Kids Cancer Project, but it's also a journey of personal healing. And in doing that, in trying to heal myself, it's my hope that you or someone in your life might also benefit from just seeing that. An example where just some old buffhead, he's, unconventionally done, dressed like a superhero, is able to fix a life that was otherwise completely broken. So in December, I was just waiting to die, and this is me turning it around, and that's what that looks like. And so I'd like that to serve as a concrete example for other people who are also stuck in a hard place to escape, because it's all about hope. Hope, fundamental. You get a little bit, and hope not meant in a silly way, but as a tangible force, a real thing. And it's the idea that positive change is available to you, because we tend to repeat our mistakes.
we tend to take, I don't know, comfort in the familiar, and sometimes the familiar can be suffering. So, you know, our pain tends to come in these sort of repeated cycles. But if you have real hope that you can have, you do the work and you can affect tangible, positive change in your life, it makes all of the difference. And then you've got, and you can amplify that by using it in a kind way, in a way that shares your hope with other people. It massively, it's like a circle that you create that comes back to you. So yeah, that's what I'm all about. The Kids Cancer Project, there's 950 children every year diagnosed with pediatric classes of cancer. These are cancers that specifically target kids, like neuroblastoma. 950 kids, 20% do not survive treatment. So 3 kids every week. So in these first days of my walk, between now and New Year's, 3 kids will drop. 3 Aussie kids. So the global numbers must be staggering. And these pediatric cancers are very researchable. They have their own specific treatment methodologies. And the Kids Cancer Project is about investing in the science to soften and improve those treatments. Make them more efficacious, make them kinder, have less crippling side effects, like the kind of stuff I deal with. No child, you know, I've got through cancer, no child should have to. That's the long and short of it. Now, I'm crossing roads and I don't want to get run over, so I might leave it there. But yeah, thank you so much for your interest, and for all of the people who've shown support. I can't begin to articulate how wonderful that is. And I hope good karma follows you, because it really is a worthy cause. So thank you so much. This is Captain Australia signing out. I'll check in before I sleep, if not before. So all the best. Have a lovely day. Yay, Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's. Woo! So all the best. Take care of yourselves, Australia. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Someone who might need a cold one soon is this Queensland man who hasn't been deterred by a wild weather forecast to undertake a 2,000-kilometre walk, raising money for children's cancer research. Simon Harvey, also known as Captain Australia, is tonight on foot on his way from Brisbane to Melbourne to raise the funds.
Here's a jolly swagman who's preparing for a walk along. 2,000 kilometres of highways and trees.
Yeah, g'day, my name's Simon.
He speaks slang and is packed for a 10-week walkathon, asking who'll donate to a kids' charity.
I'm going to walk continuously from Brisbane to Melbourne, and I'm doing it for the Kids Cancer Project.
3, 1, go! Simon Harvey has planned the entire 2,000 kilometres down the coastline step by step, but will sleep where he can.
I have no help. I'm sleeping rough, no vehicles. I'm hoping to just see some beautiful country.
The father of 3 is also streaming his journey on Facebook along the way.
When I was 15 years old, I walked from Brisbane to Sydney to escape a bad domestic situation, and it was healing, it was nourishing, it was an adventure.
He says walking is his therapy and hopes it helps raise much-needed funds for a range of paediatric cancer research.
I hated seeing children wait for the same treatments that I was. For me, the big walk is really about unplugging from my life, stripping everything back.
He's expected to arrive in Melbourne in March.
I've got to be prudent. Like, if there's a horrible storm, I'll still try and make a good 20 or 30k every day, but I might need to take shelter because you've got risks from falling branches and stuff like that.
Come rain, pandemic or shine, there's no stopping his ambition. Josh Bavis, 9 News.
G'day, spooky Captain Australia here. I know I look like something out of the Blair Witch, but I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. So there's no lights around here and it's getting a bit late, so I thought I should give you a bit of an update. I'm going to push through until at least midnight, maybe even more like 2 o'clock, because it's been a rough day, to be honest. I don't think it's an omen for the big walk in general, but, and in fact the weather's been a blessing. There was meant to be thunderstorms today, but no rain at all. It's been lovely. But yeah, I haven't made anywhere near the time that I was hoping for. So I'm going to push through till at least midnight and find a place to sleep somewhere past Yadala. And I may go until 2 a.m. and see if I can just get a bit of extra ground. I'm just really eager to get out of Brisbane. So far it's 9 p.m. and I've only come a little bit over 30 kilometres actually, so that's not ideal. But yeah, the daily average for the big walk needs to be about 40.
That's the goal anyway. I'll try and show you where I am. It's sort of in the middle of nowhere. Let's see. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of a path and just, oh, hang on. Let's just like long grass and a path, and over to the next to me there's a freeway. So we are wandering along through here, and it's all very safe. There's a nice cement path, so no real hazards. So I'm just gonna I'll kill the stream, I guess, because there's not much interesting to see. Spooky Captain Australia. When I'll update you when I find a place to sleep. That'll be somewhere probably about 2 a.m. I'm thinking. I'll grab a quick 4 or 5 and then press for the Gold Coast tomorrow. And we've got, hi buddy, well done for today. Well, that's very kind of you. I'm personally a bit disappointed. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't have expected those leg cramps. Well, I mean, I could have. The inflammatory problem, the doc said it can last up to 6 weeks. I thought I was well and truly done with them, but the extra weight of the bag stimulated it a bit. Power it through though, so doing well. And it's so dark, I think I need to, I'll say farewell now and I'll update you later when I find a place to stream. But yeah, thank you everybody for your support today. Day 1 of Captain Australia's Big Walk. Probably about 70 or so more to go based on that 40k a day prediction. Geez, I look a bit like Santa. Spooky Santa. First days always slow. Yeah, I reckon I will find my pace. And I've just got this, I had this cancer scare over Christmas and it just sort of slowed me down with all my practice walks and stuff. So I think I just need to get into the groove a little, and that will happen naturally over the next few days. I've got to stick up my bum about getting out of Brisbane as quickly as I can. No worries though. So yeah, I'll do a stream later just to show you where I finished in the day and show you where I've set up to sleep. So thank you so much everybody for your kind interest. I'm humbled, I'm grateful. Those of you that have chosen to donate to the charity, wonderful, lovely. There's a link in the sticky post if you want to. Don't feel obligated though. This is as much about creating hope for myself and other people as well, and the kids struggling with cancer as well. What the hell is that? Oh, I almost stepped in a dead animal. That's a little bit gross. So we're having a Blair Witch product? Geez, old man, I've been walking too long. A Blair Witch Project Captain Australia moment. So those of you who are sensitive and prone to spooking, sorry, it's Christmas time, not that spooky Halloween anymore. Stay safe. I will do my best. So yeah, I'll sign out. Thank you everybody for your interest. I am humbled and grateful, and I wish you well. Take care of yourselves. Ta-da.